Welcome back to the stream. Um, we are going to work on Secure Boot. This is part 3. And as you might remember, we want to work on, what's the name, on Docker, okay? So, yeah, Docker. So, I am supposed to have some documentation on how to use Docker. So that's what I want to do. I want to write down what I need in Docker in order it to work properly, and then we will add it to the Docker file so that you have everything on it. So maybe we should try to build Grub2.06 manually in this Docker stuff. And yeah, maybe we can see how I did it before, see what happens. So, I mean, just playing with Docker, you know what I mean? But the thing that we wanted to do the other day was having a read-only directory and then a read-write directory, so that yeah. So maybe we should focus on this better than other things. So let me check. So what I actually want to do is use this as read only on Super Grub. Then I want to use releases as super, what's the name? Super Grub2 Disk releases as read and write. I think this is the idea that I want to use. Yeah. So the same way, you will like to copy and paste this here so that it makes sense. So let me check if this makes sense or whatever, because I am not so sure. So apparently I would like to run my Docker with this stuff attached to it. So now I have these releases, which is wait a moment. Yeah. You're supposed to run this in the hit in the REPL. Yeah. So let's try again. So now we have this thing with releases. So my question is, what happens if I modify a stuff around here? Because I'm not so sure about this. So let's see what happens if I create a file in Super Grub. So this is inside docker.txt. Okay, we don't have, so hello, we don't have Vim. Okay, so this is a read-only file system. So that means that I cannot write the stuff here, and I need to write the stuff here, but at the same time, I don't want this to be Okay, this is going to be difficult. So the thing is that I need so I need the supergroup 2 with source code. I want it not to be modified on host. This is very important. But I want it to be read write on Docker. Okay. And I want it to be read write. I want to be releases read write so that I can have releases on host. Okay, and so this is what I want to do with Docker, but I am not so sure that yeah, so I guess the idea is to fetch somehow the hit repo, and yeah, then when you I have the hit repo, I clone it into a read and write directory, and then I build a tab which goes to release. So I need three directories. Okay, so let's see if I can manage to do this in a nice way. So I need the repo, which need to be read only. Okay, I want the releases to be read and write, and yeah, so I need to create supergroup2 repo and supergroup2 build in the Docker. Okay, so that means that, wait a moment. Yeah, but this is going to be bullshit because I want to be able to modify files. Let me see. How the hell do I do this? So I need, I guess I need a branch that I can use locally so that this works properly. But this is the idea. You have a supergroup2 repo, and you have a supergroup2 build directories. So the first one is read only, and the second one is read and write. Okay. So I'm not sure. So so I need a way to clone the repo to the build directory so that it builds, and then I can release. And it needs to be quite quick because, yeah. So that means that I need to have in the repo, I mean, the Docker file needs to have, wait a moment. The Docker file needs to have a GID on it. Otherwise, this is not going to work. So this is going to be supergroup2 build. This is repo. So the work there is supergroup2 Disk. So we have two directories, which is the supergroup2 repo, which I create so that it doesn't complain that the directory is not there. We also have supergroup2 to build, and then we have supergroup2 build as a work there. So this is what we want to achieve. So let's go outside of this, and I guess I can try this new Docker file thanks to the documentation, which says that I need to build this like this. So I can go here and build this supergroup manual builder, which it's going to be overwritten. See what happens. Okay, so this is it's telling a lot of things. There's this warning that's always here. apt utils. Okay. So this is adding supergroup2 slash repo directory. Okay. What more? Well, not sure why it takes so much. Okay, because it should not take too much. I don't understand why it takes so long. exe. What the hell? Dormant exe. No space left on device. Oh my god. It's always the same thing. No space left on device. What device? I have plenty of space. Unless this is saved on TMP or something. Oh my god. No space left on device. Okay, let me check if I can remove some stuff. So I'm removing some Docker images that I'm not longer using, but I think those are images. Okay, let me check how the hell. Docker remove image. Image rm. Okay. So I will just use this like this. Okay, image ID. This is what you want to use. Image has dependent child images. Yeah. Okay, so now I have an empty system. Where Docker saves its images. So barlib Docker. Okay. I don't want this to be here. I want it to be somewhere else. Docker info says where the stuff is saved. Oh my god. So barlib Docker is the directory that I want to play with. So yes, it makes sense that it doesn't have any space to work with. Okay, so I guess I will have to fix this, reboot, and see what can I do with all of this. So unless I change okay, chunk change Docker root dir and so on. Docker daemon. Oh my god. I don't have any of this. Yeah. I don't have any daemon.json file for Docker myself. Why is that? Maybe it's the way this is installed. It's not in the usual place, and I have to look in USR etc or something. Let me see if I can manage to find something that makes sense somewhere. Okay, so I'm working on my second screen to see what the hell I need to do. But so far, I have not found. So, so yeah, I'm going to. I'm going to try to fix this stuff with my own system, but I'm not sure this is going to work as expected. So please be patient while I try to fix this. So I'm going to create the JSON file, and I'm going to use this data route stuff. Now I'm going to copy and paste the old directory so that its contents are found. So yeah, we need to turn this off. Okay, so let me check. Yeah, so I have stopped this. Now I'm going to copy and paste all of the barleaf docker contents to my new directory. That was fast. And so once I do this, I can start the system again. And apparently, if you do some docker info, it should show you where the hell the docker root dir is. And it seems we have the right stuff in the right place, so I think we are done. I mean, I could remove this original bar log there, but I'm not sure if it's worth it. Okay, so now I should be able to continue. Maybe I should start the other Docker socket and container ID. I'm not sure this was started before. So once I have done this, I should be able to go back here and build this with the new directory, which should go slower. Yeah. Okay, so this is installing stuff. Let's see what happens once it ends to install the stuff. I didn't know that this was painting in blue here. Not sure if this is a console thing or something else. Maybe it's a console thing. Okay, so now we add the Super Grub2 repo, which, by the way, I should be removing the stuff. Anyways, so right now there is no... there is no directory. We should not take too much doing that. Instead, unless this is directory. Wait a moment. Add the current directory in your host system as Super Grub2 repo. That's why it takes so much. Okay. Maybe I am overcomplicating this because I don't want to add supergroup2 repo here. I just want to use it. So wait a moment. Yeah, so that's the problem. So I want to create these two directories, which is something easy to do. Supergroup2 build. Okay. I want to add the current directory. Okay, so should be able to cancel this and build this again, but in such a way that doesn't take so much time. Let's see if we manage this to be better. So this should have the directory. So we will manage to... it makes sense that you add the directory here, but I want to add the directory in read-only fashion, and I'm not sure that this is the right way of doing it. But if you add it, you don't... If I add it, you don't modify it. Okay, so we will have... The automatic build system will be different than the system that I'm using to build the stuff. But so far, let's try like this, see what happens. Okay, so now I should be able to go into this new system thanks to this. And the way it works is that I'm going to have the Supergroup2 repo as read-only somewhere, and also the releases is going to be in Supergroup2 build releases, which is going to fail because the directory does not exist, isn't it? Let's check it. This should be failing because this is not here. Oh, it works. So let me check. What do we have in Super Grub2 repo? We have source code, and if we try to write something, it doesn't work because this is a read-only file system. This makes sense. And do we have GIT? Yes, we have GIT. So here we have the working directory, which is Super Grub2 build. And apparently you don't care if releases. So you have this releases directory, which you have here. So now if I try to write something here, I should find it on my host. And here it is. And if I remove it from my host, I am having it here. And let's see what happens with supergroup repo. Can I write something in the supergroup repo, like from host txt? Do I get here from host txt? Yeah, I get it. So this is quite nice. So now what we need is so in order to use it, you must use this. Okay, and then you can save it. Okay. So, let's continue with this. So the next thing that I want to do is the repos need to have the same thing, and you want a quick comment to yeah. So basically, you want to rsync stuff from one directory to the other one, I guess, somehow. But I'm not sure if this is the right approach. I mean, the final usage for Docker is to the final usage for Docker. Let me repeat this again. The final usage for Docker is an automatic build where you will have a copy of the repo, and then you build from the copy. And you can modify this copy inside the Docker image as much as you want. But currently, we are focusing on the supergroup manual builder, and we want a safe way that this is going to work with our build. I mean, if the build modifies stuff that it doesn't have to modify. But anyway, what I want to do is just modify a file, run a command, and then build. That's the main idea. So I need to clone, yeah. So usual hit shenanigans. Shenanigans. Not sure. The shenanigans. I'm not sure this is the way you're supposed to write this stuff. Shenanigans. Let's see what Google says. Oh my. Yeah, I mean, it's shenanigans, not shenanigans. But this is not. Um, so what you want to do is to go inside the supergroup2 build directory, which is this one. We are already inside of it. Then hit clone supergroup repo, and then hit fetch. I mean, hit pull origin, something like that. Let me check if this makes sense or not. So you are inside supergroup2 repo. I mean, you are inside. So the once you come here, you're inside supergroup2 build, which has the releases directory. You clone the supergroup2 repo. That's where you'll do your copy. And oh, wait a moment. This is not what I was expecting. As you can see, this is not an empty directory, and it makes me cry. So this is not good stuff, because if I want to clone this, I need to clone it in an empty directory. Yeah, so maybe it makes sense to clone it initially and then just pull the request. So that means that when we build the image, we also want to install. I mean, not install. We want to. Yeah, that's right. We want to install. I mean, to hit clone supergroup2 repo into supergroup to build, which is an empty directory. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Then you go into supergroup2 build, and you might do an empty. You might do something. Okay, so right now I want to exit from here, and I want to build this again so that it has the right structure. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. Apparently you can have more than one steps. Maybe I can do this in several steps instead of one single command. But I never understood how this worked. So let's keep it in one command, I guess. So that means that if we have, so that means the usual build, which is pull origin. That's right. I mean, we will have to have a working return Super Group2 repo does not exist. Oh my god. Why is that? Because we don't have it as we don't have it. So are we allowed to use this in when we build a repo? That's a good question. Let's try it here, maybe. See what happens. I'm not sure this is going to work, but we need to try it. Yeah, so this is a flag that you cannot use when you build an image. So you need to add the image as directory, isn't it? So docker build help shorthand Falcon VP. Yeah, this makes sense that you don't want a directory when you build the stuff. So this needs to be undone. Okay, so right now, like this. So right now we need a way of adding this directory so that we can do the hit clone, and everything is done when you build it from the first time, and then you just hit clone when you start there. So yeah, so this is basically having the add, isn't it? It's having the add stuff we had before, but that means that so I'm not sure if I can run. So what I want to do is to add the current directory as super group repo, which I think I don't need to create here. Okay. And then I just want to group. I just want to have more run comments, which I'm not sure I'm going to able to do it. So let's see what happens if it likes or not. So hit clone should go here so that I clone the supergroup repo into the supergroup build stuff. I don't think you can have more than one run command per build in a Docker file, but let's try and see what happens. So far, it likes it. I'm not sure about this. Supergroup2 build. Yeah, that's right. I want to create this. Okay, so far it's installing the system once again. So the current directory is added as supergroup2 repo, which I don't really need, but I mean, I don't really need it inside the image. But if I don't do like that, then I am forced to do hit clone each time I work with the manual builder, and I just want to do hit pull origin so that everything comes with it in a easy manner. So we will have the branch Docker playground or whatever, and we will do stuff there, I guess. We need to remove a lot of stuff that it's here, and problem is that I don't have a clean. I mean, I can remove this. So, but there is no way. So you can take a look here and clean and update that. This directory is whatever. Prepare build. Take a look at this. There is a directory that's created. So basically what we have to do is to remove these two directories, I mean its contents, because it's 1.5 stuff that we are not using, and it's cannot create the directory supergroup to do build file exists. So this is run. Let me check. Yeah, I'm not sure why I have it twice. So let's try again, see what happens. Anyway, if I can cancel this, I'm going to remove the builds and also I'm going to remove the installations, because I don't need them, because they get created. Pretty sure they get created when you build Supergrub2 Disk, and then this is going to be faster because we have less stuff to push into the image. So this should be faster right now that there are less files. I mean, there are files, but not so much as before. Okay, so right now we have hit clone from Supergroup2 repo into Supergroup2 build, and we should be done with this. So the idea is use a local only branch for Docker development minimal changes. So yeah. So probably you get quite to clone here. Okay, so now I should be able to use this new command, which is the command that I want to use in order to interact with my Docker image. Let's see what happens. So right now we have Super Grub2 Disk, Super Grub2 build, which is the clone. Okay, and if I write something here, again, it works. But if I write something to Super Grub2 repo, it fails because it's a read-only file system. That makes sense because I don't want to modify from the Docker my source code. I want only to modify it from you know what I mean? I want to modify it only from outside the machine. The other thing we can test is this hit pull origin. So I guess that the default remote is origin, so hit pull origin. Okay. So inside Docker image. So now I should be able to build stuff inside here. And the other thing I want to check is that if I create something from here, you know, I should be able to check it into the releases directory, and here it is from Docker. And that's nice because this is the releases directory, and we want it to be modified. But let's check one thing. This Docker stuff is root. I mean, we will need a way of getting this stuff with UID somehow. And yeah, I will try to yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but yeah, this should be built with a user, I guess. So Okay, so let's continue. So I can try to add a user that has the same UID as I have, so that the releases have the same UID as I have, isn't it? I mean, how the hell? I mean, I know that when I run Super Group Meta stuff, well, I'm not sure if I'm running it as. I'm not sure if I. That's a good question. How the hell did I build this? Did I build this as yeah, apparently you don't need to be root in order to. Yeah, apparently you need to be root to run this. So maybe I should check on how Docker run as a normal user, something. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to run Docker as a non-root user. Okay, yeah, that's not it. I want to. Okay. Yeah, this is what I want to do. So I want to use. So this is going to be hard coded, and then someone else might find a way to fix this so that it makes sense. But so far, so what you want to do is here we want to add the user and then say user. So this is going to be, let's change it because the supergroup builder user, which is going to have the same UID as in my machine because I am the main developer. Yeah, and then I want this and this and this and this and this, and I want to do it with user. Okay, so let's see if this makes sense from Docker point of view, because I am not so sure, if I'm being honest. So using, so maybe some stuff that needs to be done with the user. Yeah, makes sense. I cannot create a directory as the final user because I am not. So let me check. So maybe I should switch here to user root because I want this directory to be want this directory to be okay. Let me check Docker file at Dockerfile reference. How the hell do I add a directory? Okay, from run cmd level. I should have an add. Okay, this is not a copy. Okay, here it is. chown. That's what we want to do. Okay. Copies news file directory and remote adds them to the file type. Okay, so this is what I want to do. I want to add the current directory with an option so that this has the UID. Maybe we can pass this as a variable, but I'm not sure about this. So this is add the current directory as Super Grub2 repo with 1004. Then I want to create this Super Group to build the stuff. So wait a minute. Let's see how to do this. Yeah, so what I want to do is to run all of this as root. I want to set this to this new user, which is the Super Group builder. And once we've got this, I should be able to clone from one directory to the other directory because I have permissions as SGD builder. Okay, so let me check. Let me check what happens right now with this new setup. Yeah, I should put these directories, these steps in only one step because it's just stuff. You don't have to create intermediate containers for all of these commands. So apparently we are able to clone the directory as SGD builder. That's nice. So I might end here the video because we have done an improvement. And this is nice. This means that we will be able to work with a non-root user, and this is going to be nice. But first of all, let's check what happens when we run it after its creation. This cloning is taken too much, but maybe it makes sense because Super Grub2 locally has a lot of branches and stuff which I have not pruned. Okay, everything has been cloned, and we are done. So now I want to go to development instructions, and I want to know what the hell happens when I try to run this here. Do I get a root user or something else? So now I am as the SGD builder, okay, and this is 1004. That's what I want to have. So once again, Super Grub2 repo, its permissions are SGD builder because I asked that everything inside of it needed to be 1004. Okay, and so yeah, the other thing that I have is that if I go into releases and I say that this is from Docker, now if I go into releases, where is it? This from Docker is going to be from my own user. It's not going to be something else. Okay, that's this is nice. So now, in theory, I should be able to run here Super Grub Meta MQ Rescue, because I mean we should be able to run it if we had the proper requirement packages installed. Okay, this is what we are missing right now. So let's write it down. So try to build inside Docker image, and also, yeah, now we need a way of going up with, yeah, this is going to be, try to build inside Docker image, and also so you will need sudo permissions for the user without a password, probably, because we want to install the stuff. Or maybe connect to the Docker image, but as user, in order to install packages. Then document what we need to install or how to get those packages, and save that information into Docker file so that it can be pre-installed before building anything. That's right. I mean, that's what we want to do. So right now, let's see what we have in our Super Grub2. So I can exit here. I guess I could save this, but I'm not sure if it's worth it, so I'm going to leave it there. So let's see what we have. We have the new documentation, and we also have this, which needs to be fixed. Yes, this thing here. So we want to add development and manual. So Docker new now uses now. Docker new uses read only directory, and so works with UAD 12. And so I will just push this to the repo, which has a new name. And the name is GitHub. Okay. So I am fine with what we have achieved today, that we have managed to have this read-only directory and this read and write directory that clones from the other directory, so that the Docker file does not manage to delete my files or whatever. Then I have the read and write directory for releases, so that I can get the releases into my system. And I am working with UID 1004, so that I don't have to mess with permissions. Okay. So that's all for today. And as I say, the next video we will next day we will try to build Grub2.06 and maybe Super Grub2 Disk if we manage to, and we will document everything here, see how it goes. Yeah. See you. See you in the next day.